Okay, it is 10:45, the birds have stopped chirping, and my neighbors have stopped blasting their music. Let's try and get this video recorded.
Take that, depression!
What is up, my little spirits? After promising this for well over a year, we have finally arrived at the Stray Kids Survival Show commentary.
It's been 84 years.
I've been meaning to talk about this show for a while because, let's just say I have some thoughts.
Thank you for making that announcement that no one cared about.
I think it really delves into what kind of a company JYP Entertainment is and how Stray Kids Trainee days may have affected who they've become as people in present. And quick disclaimer, I am not going to pretend like Woojin doesn't exist. Every accusation made against him has been proven false, and I do not want to hear "but Chan said," because I've already made a video on that. If you think Woojin leaving was selfish, fine. But I implore you to actually get a job. Maybe then you'll see what it feels like to want to leave because of the mistreatment you endure, but being torn about it because you know how it'll affect your coworkers. So yeah. If you're going to be upset whenever I talk about him or how I'm not going to blur out his face whenever he's on screen, this is not the series for you.
And that's on period.
So yeah, let me just go off script a little bit first to try to explain what's going to happen. So instead of making one video where I talk about the series as a whole, we are going to be discussing each of the individual 10 episodes one at a time with commentary. Not necessarily as the episode plays, because I don't want JYP Entertainment taking down my channel anytime soon.
Electric chair.
But I'll be including some clips of things that are noteworthy that I want to touch upon. I am also going to be inserting a whole lot of memes and references to hopefully make this a little more entertaining than just me being boring and talking about the thing, but we will see how that goes. If you like this kind of style of commentary, let me know. If this goes over well, I do hope to touch upon 16 by, well, not 16 by Twice, but 16, which is the survival show that put Twice together.
Please, I'm a star!
And then maybe some other ones, like there's the one that brought us Enhypen, maybe Momoland if people want to talk about that. I'm sure some people want to see Girls Planet, Boys Planet, etc. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. For the time being, we need to talk about Stray Kids. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Of course, we need to start with some exposition of all the JYP groups that have been produced over the years. We got Wonder Girls, Miss A, 2AM, 2PM, GOT7, Day 6, and of course, Twice. You know, you really do have to admire how consistent the company's been when it comes to releasing some of the biggest artists in K-pop.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
Another thing that I think this company does really well is picking out idols with that star potential, that X factor for lack of a better term. I know that a lot of JYPE artists are branded as only being in their respective groups for their looks and or their personalities, but it just goes to show how this company understands marketing and what the public will gravitate towards when selecting who to debut.
Did I lie? Did I lie?
So basically, episode 1 is pretty much filled up with just giving us background as to what's going on, where we are, and all that. The year is 2017 at this point, and the last group that JYP Entertainment had debuted was Twice back in 2015. Now they're looking to debut a new boy group, as it's been even longer since then. And one of the things that the company does is it conducts a monthly evaluation in order to make sure that all the idols that are under the company are either A, ready to debut, B, on the path to debut, or C, if there are any issues towards that, what could potentially be given as feedback to maybe set them in the right direction.
매달
And right now, the twist is that JYP, the person, is looking for one of two different project groups to pick between and then decide which of those he's going to want to debut in the near future. One of them being Stray Kids. And you can just feel how nervous all of the members in both groups are about this decision. Oh my gosh, it's baby Itzy. Y'all, can we talk about how great Yeji and Woojin have been at performing since their trainee days? These two are so crazy talented, like, I can't even express it properly. They're just amazing.
Period. Period. Period.
Wait, Boy Story? I forgot how young they were when they started at the company. Oh my. These guys, I cannot. Have you seen their Zip performances? They have some of the best stage presence amongst all 4th gen boy groups. I really wish that they were promoted more, like, both domestically and internationally. They deserve it.
I think we should have that conversation.
Hey, Queen. Girl, you have done it again.
Again, I cannot believe just how young some of these idols started as trainees. And she's singing a Demi Lovato song at that age. This is 4th gen vocal queen behavior. Let me tell you. Y'all know how much I love aespa and Ning Ning. Y'all know how much I love Pink Fantasy and Yetchen. But, like, Lily is on just a totally different level.
이거 진짜 해야 돼 우리가. 여자 이 팀을 볼 때마다 느끼는 건데 팀워크도 너무 좋고 노래도 너무 잘하고 뭔가 저희 팀보다 개개인이 딱 파트 때 더 보여줄 때 확실히 보여주는 것 같고.
Okay, so one of the many things I love about both Han and Changbin are how insightful both of them are. They recognize what the girls' team is doing properly in their performance, and this is why idols like them are some of the best performers in the industry. They can analyze another person's performance, recognize what it is that makes said performance amazing, and then apply that to their own technique. And that's why people like Han Changbin, they keep improving with each and every Stray Kids era and release. Every time you think they cannot get better, they somehow get better. Like, how is it possible?
알아보시긴 하는데 인기는 없는 것 같아요.
Oh, Chaeyoung is just so freaking adorable. Again, I will definitely be discussing 16 at some point after this series because I have a bone to pick with JYP, the person, as well as the staff of that show.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
I swear, this commentary has been more so about artists other than Stray Kids than it's been about Stray Kids themselves. And I promise this won't be the case after this episode. It's just episode 1 is the entirety of JYP Entertainment at this point.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
2010년쯤에 제가 호주에서 이제 오디션을 봤거든요.
Not the I'm Yours video. I swear, that's going to haunt Chan around for the rest of his life. But seriously, as someone that's the same age as idols like Chan and Gio being a 97 liner, it's crazy to put into perspective when they joined the company. I think Chan joined at the age when I was in about 7th grade, and Gio did so when I was in 3rd grade. We need to have a discussion on how young trainees are allowed to be when scouted by companies, but this video is already going to be long enough as it is, so we'll save that topic for another time, but still. Try to look at idols born in the same year as you at some point. look at when they started training. Some of them are just going to amaze you with how young they were. Also, terrify and concern are two other words I'd throw in there, but like, yeah. It's a problem.
좀 창피한 부분들도 있어요. 약간 남들은 다 데뷔했는데 왜 아직까지 있냐. 짧은 시간이 아니잖아요. 여기 있는 기간이. 그래서 데뷔해야죠. 네, 데뷔할 자신이 있는 것 같아요.
I know that I am extremely tough on Chan, but I do believe that he's endured so much trauma from his extensive time being under JYP Entertainment and their training system.
Trauma. PTSD. Trauma. Generational trauma. Trauma.
Like, this man seriously needs to see a therapist to unpack all the baggage he's been lugging around for the last several years so he can finally heal. And I'm talking about an actual therapist, not one of those hacks from BetterHelp. If you know, you know, but like, yeah. This poor guy, he needs to see someone who is going to help him resolve all the emotional turmoil that this company's put him through.
안녕하세요. 저는 랩 담당으로 연습하고 있는 서창빈입니다.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
I always forget just how skinny Changbin was during their rookie years. Like, I don't think enough people understand just how much goes into a transformation like his, where he went from such a slender physique to packing on as much muscle mass as he currently boasts. So much time and effort goes into that kind of muscle build. And you can kind of see that now with idols like Ito of ONEUS, just because from Valkyrie era to current day, again, the amount of muscle that he has been slowly putting on, again, because it is a slow and time-consuming process. Just like, I have so much respect for people like that are willing, able, and committed to making those transformations. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, Changbin, and just like being amazed by how much he has transformed the last several years. Like, I am just hats off to him. So much applause.
Yes, Queen! Slay! Slay! Slay your enemies! Ruler of one of the realms of men! Smite down those that oppose you!
안녕하세요. 저는 18살 한지성이고요. 믹스테이프 같은 걸 다 들어보시면 되게 세고 제 톤도 되게 공격적이어서 좀 오해하실 수도 있는데 저는 서정적이고 멜로디컬한 랩을 좋아합니다. 제 랩 스타일은 좀 다크하고 좀 어두운 게 좀 잘 어울리고요.
You know, I know, Reno, yeah! I love how both Han and Changbin go into their specific styles of rapping and how you can see them complementing each other. Han's aggression matches Changbin's darkness, while Changbin's flow matches Han's emphasis on melody. And I really wish we could have also heard a little more about Chan's love for music, instead of JYPE constantly reminding us at every single second that he has been a trainee for most of his life.
Oh, Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
At this point, Chan was with the company when it was built. He just came free with the company. Just like this poor guy, he has been with this company for way too long.
Hey, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.
Looking back at all the members at this point in their careers compared to now, I'm really noticing how far they've all come talent-wise. I know a lot of stans like to think that their faves were the next Beyonce from day one, and this applies to all fandoms, not just stay.
I am tired.
But so many idols weren't. And you're all discrediting their progress and their hard work by saying so. If we look at Chan, Changbin, and Han, they've all become much better performers, especially in terms of consistency. Felix and Yeonjin have become better dancers and performers. Ian has seen some steady vocal growth, and Seungmin's vocal growth is best displayed in OSTs, covers, solos, and subunit releases, because let's be honest, Stray Kids music is typically composed at the higher end of Seungmin's vocal range and what he's comfortable singing at, and it's not very conducive to a lot of vocal growth. In order to do so, he would need to take time away from the group projects in order to focus on his voice. And when you have a group that's constantly releasing music, constantly putting out media like Stray Kids Code and other variety content, is on tour practically 24/7, it feels like, it is so hard to find the time in order to work on yourself and continue improving. And the fact that Seungmin is still showing vocal growth really just highlights how much time he takes for himself to do that.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
안녕하세요. 저는 20살 이민호라고 합니다. 춤 4, 5년 정도 하고 방탄소년단 백업 댄서 하면서 일본 투어도 같이 다녀오고 갔습니다.
As far as Lino goes, I'm not sure if I'd say he's had the most growth. Potentially he's even had the least growth of everyone. If anything, his confidence is what's developed the most in terms of just overall performing, what's improved. But since he already had so much experience as a backup dancer, including for BTS, I feel like he was arguably their best performer at the time of debut. He had that experience, that professionalism. He pretty much had things already within a solid foundation that I think the other members didn't have as much. Most of them, I think, really gained more of a sense of self around God's Menu era. And then we gotta talk about Woojin. Like, he has thrived so much as a soloist. His music better accommodates his vocal range, and his concepts work better for his performing style. I love the guy, but he would have floundered under concepts like God's Menu, Backdoor, Thunderous, Maniac, La 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 La, etc., etc. Like, he just didn't, and even now does not perfectly fit in well with a lot of the concepts that Stray Kids tackles with their music. So again, I think leaving the group and becoming a soloist in terms of development as a performer has really benefited him. And I'd even argue he's probably shown more growth than anyone has from the time of their debut, which is why I really wish that Stray Kids would do more solo and subunit activities, because outside of the 3 Racha members, I feel like the other 5 really have so much untapped potential that still isn't being explored.
물론 여기 입장에서는 좀 안 좋은 거지. 마이크 좀 테크니컬적인 이슈가 생길 수도 있으니까. 또 그거 가지고 너무 멘탈 준비되지 말고 다음에 안 떨어뜨리면 되니까. 어차피 다 조절했으니까 이렇게 그냥 편하게.
Honestly, when it comes to taking care of his members, Chan is just such a naturally good leader. I love seeing him just give Changbin and Han words of encouragement. But again, it does make me worry about whether or not he has someone in his life that serves that role for himself. It's hard to always be giving yourself out like that without either reciprocation or having someone else who's your go-to person to lean on, to be your support.
Walk out the door, you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And once again, we are being reminded that Gio and Chan spent way too much time in the JYPE training system. Like, I'm laughing right now, but that's just because it is so absurd that it's borderline hilarious. Like, you would think it's a parody how long they have been in the system, especially compared to how many people are usually trainees for only 1, 2, maybe 3 years. Then you have Chan being in the system for 7 years, Gio for 10. It's like, I just cannot fathom how someone has the patience to wait that long and have potentially so much confidence in their company that, oh yeah, we'll debut you eventually.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Hey. Yeah, 'cause you do it like this, huh? Yeah, we do it like this. What comes down, be the what comes down. Do you better ready for a beat again? Everybody wants to play, people ready for it. Let's change from J1.
So I'm not going to show the entire performance because, again, I don't need JYPE's lawyers knocking on my door and telling me that my channel's going to be taken down, but this was just such a great performance. I am just so happy with it. You have Changbin doing what he does best, leading off the song with an incredible rap that lets him stand out. Woojin and Seungmin were carrying the choruses while also having their own parts to really show off their talents. Lino had center time in a dance break. Perfect. I'm a little surprised, though, that Han didn't get as many lines as he probably could have handled, especially if he split up some with Chan, but I mean, overall, this is how a line distribution is supposed to show off the talents of your members. They're not supposed to be exactly the same for every single person, as not everyone brings the same skill set to the table.
그래서 내가 오늘 처음부터 끝까지 보면서 내 눈이나 귀에 유독 특별하게 보였던 사람을 몇 명 얘기해서 좀 칭찬해 줄게. 우선 당연히 찬이고, 찬이는 우선 춤, 노래, 랩, 필 이 모든 게 다 좋아. 다. 근데 오늘 하나 아쉬운 점은 더 카리스마가 있어야 돼. 무슨 말이냐면 조금 더 이기적으로 해야 돼. 네 파트에서. 그런 게 오늘 아쉬웠어.
Okay, I get that JYP wants all of his idols to continue improving and not fall into complacency, but couldn't you have just given Chan his moment and then stop by the following day at practice and give your criticisms then? Why not just say, great job, Chan, be proud of yourself, and then the next day be like, you suck. By the way, just before anyone tries to spin this, no, I do not think that Chan sucks, but I think sometimes JYP can be a little hypercritical towards his idols.
오늘 쇼케이스 전체를 통틀어서 제일 내 눈에 아주 강렬하게 띈 사람은 예지.
Let's be honest. If Yeji started promoting herself as a soloist back in 2021, she would have been crushing it. And if it's not obvious, I mean still being a member of the group, but having solo projects. I have this entire other script about JYPE's refusal to promote idols as soloists until they're past their prime, but again, topic for another day. My point is, Yeji is a one-woman army, and she has always been, and I don't know how JYPE keeps finding all these amazing idols, and then they just fumble the bag with all of them when it comes to truly capitalizing on their potential.
깊이 고민을 하고 회사 임원진들하고도 모두 상의를 해서 내린 결론은 JYP의 다음 신인은 남자 프로젝트 팀으로
Oh my God. I can't.
You know it's good programming when you already know what's going to happen and you are still on the edge of your seat in suspense. Like, I already knew that Stray Kids was going to debut, and yet here I am, still so happy that JYP picked their group to let them debut. It's like, the whole survival show is named after Stray Kids, and here I am thinking, like, is Stray Kids going to make it? Are they going to debut? Is he going to pick them? It's like, dude, you've watched this already. But yeah, more on that in a future episode.
We were all so happy that day. It's actually hard to even imagine how terrible things would soon become.
무엇부터 확인해야 될지 좀 고민을 많이 해봤어. 근데 뭔가 춤, 노래 이런 걸 하나하나 따로따로 보기보다는 그냥 우선 너희 팀 자체로 어떤지 먼저 확인을 하는 게 첫 번째일 것 같아. 왜냐면 어차피 이 팀을 만드는데 내가 관여한 게 아니고 또 찬이가 이렇게 리더가 돼서 만든 거기 때문에 우선 팀으로서 너희 모습을 확인해 보고 싶어.
And there we have it. This series places a very heavy emphasis on how the group was created by Chen. You know, aside from the fact that they also emphasize that he was under the JYPE trainee system for a million years, 50,000 times. But aside from that, they love telling us again and again and again, this was Chan's group, JYP had no involvement in this group, Chan put the group together, similar to how groups like After School and Brown Eyed Girls were also put together by their leaders. My own little tinfoil hat theory is that this entire series, aside from being one, promotion for the group, two, a very thinly veiled ad campaign for, I think it's Coca-Cola in later episodes. I think the third purpose that's meant for is keeping Chen and potentially his ego in check. It's both JYP and the company's way of saying, you think you're all that because we let you put a group together? Well, let's remind you who's actually in charge. And here's a hint. It's not you. Just something about this evaluation period rubs me the wrong way. I feel like my gut is telling me it's a power play by the company to remind him that even though we gave you the power to make this group and to compose it how you want to have your music however you want, you're still under this company.
우리 회사의 다음 기대주로서 뭔가 아직 부족한 부분이 있다고 생각하면 데뷔를 하지 못하는 친구가 생길 수도 있어. 네.
And if that wasn't bad enough, we are threatening to eliminate some of the members.
That was a productive meeting.
Anyways, that is the end of episode 1. What do you guys think? I'll be diving into all the episodes in this style. Hopefully I'll, be a little better at giving some commentary as this progresses and as we dive into other shows of this nature. I'm hoping to release every Monday and Friday, given that this is the first episode and we're already going on Tuesday for the upload. I'm sure y'all can tell that this is not going to be as consistent as I would like it to be, but yeah, this should take us about 5 weeks to complete the series if I am able to upload twice per week. But yeah, please let me know what you guys think, if you enjoyed this, if you would prefer more of a traditional, like me just discussing the series as a whole. Maybe after I do this and I've been refreshed on the whole series, I can do a sort of like recap episode, but we'll see. Just let me know what you guys think. But yeah, with all that being said, I am going to be signing off on this episode. Remember to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay hydrated. And until next time, peace out.